Hello, my name is Anna Halbig. I'm here for the Foundation for the Rights of Future Generation. It's a German-based organization, and I'm happy to welcome you today here for this press conference. We have organized some speakers here who will present their work, the presentation about their developments in the climate field, and they will also present their organizations. And I'm happy to present you our speakers today. The first one will be Danae Espinosa. She's from the Latin American and Caribbean Youth Climate Movement, short the CLIC, and the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much for the introduction. And I have been following all the process about the negotiation process, especially on adaptation. So for the youth, it's quite important to be engaged with the adaptation process because education and financing or funds for adaptation has to be included in the negotiations for the coming years or road to COP 2018. So it's very important to apply great projects or platforms to engage the people, the young people on it, obviously at national level first, and secondly at regional level, because for our region it's very, very important to be working on adaptation processes on civil society, by the way, because the civil society is a non-party stakeholder. So in the negotiations we have been hearing a lot about the non-party stakeholders road to 2018. So the youth is quite important in this process, and unfortunately the Latin American and Caribbean movement, the movement is here. Obviously I'm here, but we hope that for the next COP more Latin American and Caribbean youth have presence here during the process on November. And obviously African youth is quite important. Global South, in fact, the youth from Global South is important. So in fact, it's just adaptation process for the youth. So that's it.
Thank you, Danae, for your presentation. It was very informative, and hopefully we will have more people from the Global South at the COP. The following presentation will be by Aissatou Diop. Correct me if I'm wrong. She is from ENDA. It's an NGO that is based in Senegal, and she will also present the organization and her work here at the Intersessionals.
Thank you. My name is Aissatou Diop. I come from Senegal. So I want to present my organization, ENDA. It is an international non-profit organization based in Senegal since 1972. And we have autonomous entities coordinated by an executive secretariat. And ENDA has a worldwide representation, including teams at the Dakar headquarters, each working on development and environment in Africa, in South America, in Asia, and in Europe. ENDA's essential aim is the fight against poverty and for sustainable development. Emphasis is also on methods and means of action that are best suited of bringing these aims together. My entities, ENDA Energy, propose collaboration with the private sector to enhance its capacities in order to provide market services and sustainable development to the poor. We are also working on climate change to help communities to better adapt and to be more resilient against the effect and the impact of climate change. We are also working a lot of energy access, helping communities to have access to energy, and we are also working on gender issues, how to mainstream genders in politics at local level, national and international level. We are also involved on climate finance, and we are launching since I think 3 or 4 months ago a GCF program of readiness to see how we can get involved more CSOs on the process, because we think that CSOs are really working on the ground and they know what communities need. So we are really involved in this process by some partners like German Watch. And yeah, we are, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisatu, for the presentation and for all your work for these important topics. Now the next speaker will be Prince Goodluck Obi, who's sitting next to me. He's from the United Nations of Youth Network. It's a network based in Nigeria, and he will tell you more about what he's doing in this network.
Thank you so much, the moderator. Like she said, my name is Prince Goodluck Obi, the convener, United Nations of Youth Network Nigeria. United Nations of Youth Network Nigeria is a network of over 150 non-governmental, youth-based non-governmental organizations, civil society, community-based organization, drawn across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, the South-South, the Southeast, the Southwest, the Northeast, the Northwest, and the North Central. United Nations of Youth has a vision to empower the young people to become agents of positive change in the society. And we do this through various programs like youth development and youth empowerment. Personally, United Nations of Youth has a special consultative status with United Nations Economic and Social Council, otherwise known as ECOSOC. We also have an observer status with United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And just recently, we have been given observer status with United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Upon all these things, United Nations of Youth does so much in areas of climate change. For this book I have here, you can see me and the United Nations Director in Information Center in Nigeria, where we organize a program in collaboration with Unique Nigeria to sensitize the people on the on the dangers of climate change and the way forward for it. It attracted people from all walks of life. And also, while we were talking about the Millennium Development Goal, why the Millennium Development Goal left in September 2015, we are engrossed now with Sustainable Development Goals. And the impacts on issues on climate change have been a thing of concern for UNOI. And having said that, one particular area of interest in UNOI is the crisis in the northeast of Nigeria, where we are having the Lake Chad basin, the challenge in Lake Chad. Why we are interested in it, it brings 4 countries together. And these countries are Cameroon, Niger, Nigeria, and Chad. This is a river, a lake that has known to be so long in kilometer, over 200 kilometers square. Recently, it has dried to a very minimal level that has posed a lot of challenges in that zone. Because of the drought involved, so many people have migrated from the northeast of Nigeria to southeast and southwest, thereby having a very economic challenge, which has caused a lot of havoc. The herdsmen who could not have any field to feed their cattle, they have to come to southeast, southwest, where they have taken over the farmlands of people in the south, thereby causing some agricultural fight among the thing. When we talk about the Boko Haram issue, you find out that the terrorism in that area has to be involved with a lot of lack. When people in a particular area cannot sustain what they have before as a result of drought, which was a result of the problem we encounter in Lake Chad bases, they tend to toil to south where they can get food. And from there, so many issues come up. Nevertheless, United Nations of Youth has other areas to attend with. As time goes on, I can let you know about it. I thank you.
Thank you, Prince Goodluck, for the presentation of the work of your organization, but also for giving insights in the situation in your country and the area. Now, thank you in total. Now we go to the next speaker. It will be Amarys Preuss from the Nubian Vault. She is the development officer in this organization. The organization, the Nubian Vault, is based in France, and the work is focused on West Africa, and she will let you know more about what she's doing in this network.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. We are here in Bonn to share our experience with integrating housing and shelter issues into climate action at all levels. Around the world, millions of people lack decent housing, and the answer to this must integrate climate considerations, whether mitigation, especially reducing gas emissions in construction, but also in use, and also resiliency, helping people, including at those with the lowest incomes around the world, to have access to houses that are decent, faced to the climate, that provide comfortable and comfortable shelter and basic needs in the face of climate change, which often translates into stronger storms, hotter weather, or colder, more stronger extremes that affect the way people live also. So the Nuvi Vault works in Western Africa, offering a solution for sustainable housing through an ancestral technique that's 3,000 years old, using only raw earth to avoid depleting the already short resources in wood in the Sahelian area, and replace or offer a real alternative to the metal sheets that are often used as roofs, despite their inadequacy for the environment, for the economies, and just for basic living and basic comfort of people. So we try to create a market and enable people to have access to these homes within their own means, within their own realities, their social and economic realities. And through this, help also people build their own development through jobs, and decent shelter is also needed in Bonn, where it's now raining on us. We don't have a solution for that right now. And I lost myself. Okay, sorry. So, as you can see, it's a reality everywhere. It's a real critical issue that should be addressed by everyone. I'm sorry. So the importance is to offer practical solutions that are accessible to all and encourage the stakeholders, and at the highest levels, including the stakeholders meeting here today, to integrate the issue of sustainable housing into climate action and the issue of accessibility to all, offering practical and very simple and replicable solutions that all can appropriate and that can be a lever for growth, transforming the building sector to integrate better solutions. So there's an estimate that the building sector around the world causes about 30% of greenhouse gas emissions if you include air conditioning. And this issue needs to be addressed. That's we talk about car pollution. We forget houses a little bit too often, especially for the greater numbers. So this is what we're here for today. So thank you for the stage.
Thank you, Amarys, for your presentation. And I think when you're finished with completing your work in Africa, you can continue your job here in Bonn. Now, thank you all speakers for your presentations. Now I welcome you to ask questions to our wonderful panel here. I think we also have a microphone. Yes, thank you. Any questions? Yes, I see a question, please.
Yes. Thank you so much for this very great diversity in the panel, but also the various topics you are addressing. I think it's very good to see that one of you is focusing on sustainable housing and making sure that the very poorest area in the world can have access to this new way of thinking, while someone else is focusing on mobilizing and engaging young people and children and connecting climate change with peace. And we have the negotiation part. We're following up on how to mobilize young people from Latin America and make sure that they get the access to formal negotiation, and end out doing some work on the readiness of civil society to the Green Climate Fund. I see all those topics, housing, climate finance, policy and engagement, youth participation and empowerment. And my question is, did you know each other before joining this panel? Your organization, have you worked together in the past before? And if yes, how? If not, what are your perspectives on that?
Yeah. Who wants to start? Or if maybe all of you, or just one?
On my side, yes, I know very well Voûte Nubienne, and I think that in the past we had some discussion, my organization and Voûte Nubienne, to see how we can work together. But I think that we need to move forward and to see how we can synergize our activities and to better help communities on the ground, because right now we are launching projects about communities' resilience, and I think that they are doing is also building resilience for communities to better adapt to climate change. And I think that after this side event, we will have some discussion to see how we can work together in the future and perhaps to have some projects together in Senegal. Right.
Anything to add from you? Or?
Well, I fully agree with what Aïssatou said. And it's true, it's important at our level to make sure that approaches on the ground are as integrated as possible. We all have our own topics, but it's important to take into account the effects of our issues on other stakes or other sectors of life for the people, and try to cross over the gap and meet with other organizations. So it's true, we're happy to reach out to ENDA and try to build something together that, as you said, brings our synergies a little bit closer.
Do we have any other questions? Or comments, also welcome. If that's not the case, I thank you for your attendance. Thank you to the speakers again for sharing your opinions and your ideas with us. And have a great afternoon. Thank you.